Hello everyone and welcome to my CSAU channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Julie Chrisley shares her main focus while in prison. Julie Chrisley has revealed what her main focus was while she was locked up in prison. Fans have been wondering if she was focused on her children, getting out, Todd, or what she was mainly worried about while she was behind bars. Well, she has shared what her priority was and what she felt the worst about while doing her time. There is a lot to unfold and uncover when it comes to this. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Julie Chrisley gets out of prison, but has PTSD. Julie Chrisley was locked up for over 2 years in federal prison. This was for tax evasion and fraud. Todd Chrisley was also locked up at the same time. However, Donald Trump chose to pardon both of them. During this time, Savannah Chrisley had to take custody of her younger siblings, Grayson and Chloe. The prison time hit Julie much harder than it did Todd. Savannah has even said that she sees more trauma in her mother than in her father. This was a hard time for the entire family. She shares what her main focus was in prison. Julie Chrisley has shared that her main focus while in prison was her children. This does not shock fans, as she has always been a good mother. This does not shock anyone. However, they do feel bad for Julie, as they could not imagine being away from their kids for this long. It seems as though Julie Chrisley's main focus during her time away was her children. This is not shocking to hear, as her children are her world. She knew Chase and Savannah were going to have to step up and be parents when they were more than likely not ready for that. This is something that would be hard on any parent. However, some do not feel bad for her as they think she deserved it. What do you think? Are you shocked this was her main focus? Behind the towering fences and concrete walls of the Federal Medical Center in Lexington, Kentucky, a new chapter is unfolding for Julie Chrisley, one that looks drastically different from her life of designer kitchens and televised family dinners. Once a Southern matriarch known for her grace under pressure on the hit reality series Chrisley Knows Best, Julie is now navigating a life defined by structure, silence, and self-reflection. But even amid the isolation of prison life, Julie has found purpose. In a recent letter shared through a trusted family friend, Julie opened up about what keeps her grounded during her sentence: faith, family, and a relentless desire to grow. A prison cell becomes a sanctuary. Julie describes her prison routine with an unexpected calmness: early mornings, quiet evenings, and long stretches of introspection in between. But rather than letting time weigh her down, she has repurposed it. Each day, she rises early to spend the first moments in prayer, a practice she says centers her mind and heart. "I begin every morning with gratitude," she wrote. "Even here, in a place where freedom is stripped away, I've found that I can choose peace." Julie has thrown herself into daily devotionals and Bible study, often leading small group discussions among fellow inmates. To those inside with her, she's not Julie the reality star. She's Julie the listener, the encourager, the woman who believes redemption is not only possible but powerful. Motherhood from afar. Julie's maternal instinct remains intact, even from hundreds of miles away. Her children, Savannah, Chase, Grayson, and Chloe, are never far from her thoughts. She admits that the hardest part of her incarceration isn't the physical environment, but the emotional distance from her family. "Being separated from my babies is a wound that never stops aching," she shared. "I miss every hug, every birthday, every ordinary moment I used to take for granted." Julie has made it her mission to maintain connection in every way possible. She writes letters constantly to her husband Todd, who is serving time in Florida, and to her kids. She receives drawings from Chloe, school updates from Grayson, and heartfelt notes from Savannah, who's taken over as the family's guardian and emotional anchor. "I live for their words. I read them over and over, like scripture," Julie revealed. Despite limited phone calls and occasional video chats, Julie has turned her absence into an opportunity to teach. In her letters, she imparts wisdom, offers advice, and reminds her children to live with integrity. "I may not be able to tuck them in, but I can still guide them," she said. One of Julie's greatest comforts in prison is knowing that Todd is also on his journey toward redemption. The couple is incarcerated in separate facilities, but their bond remains strong. They communicate through monitored phone calls and heartfelt letters, which Julie treasures more than any luxury she once owned. "We've always been partners in everything, in business, in parenting, in life," Julie said. "Now, we're partners in healing." Julie and Todd often synchronize their routines, reading the same scriptures, doing devotional simultaneously, and even watching the same shows when allowed. Their love, tested by the harshest of circumstances, seems to have found new roots in shared struggle. "We don't get to hold hands anymore," Julie wrote, "but we hold each other up in spirit." A new calling, helping others inside? Julie's days aren't just filled with reflection, they're also filled with purpose. In prison, she's become a quiet leader, offering support to women struggling with their pasts and uncertain futures. Many inmates have come to her for guidance, and Julie has started informally mentoring them. She teaches basic life skills, budgeting, cooking tips, and even emotional regulation, and helps fellow prisoners write resumes and letters for upcoming parole hearings. Most importantly, she listens. "I may not be able to fix their lives," Julie shared, "but I can make sure they feel heard. That's something I can give." Julie sees her time behind bars not as wasted, but as a mission. "I believe I was put here to grow, to serve, and to emerge transformed," she wrote. Looking toward the future, Julie's sentence isn't forever, and she knows that. She envisions her release not as a return to old ways, but a fresh start. In her letters, she writes about a post-prison life centered around simpler joys: baking bread, working in a small garden, and spending as much time as possible with her grandchildren. She's even hinted at wanting to become involved in prison ministry or criminal justice reform. "There are too many forgotten people in here," she wrote. "If I can help shine a light on even one of their stories, I will." Julie knows that public perception may always carry judgment, but she no longer fears it. What matters to her now is integrity, walking the walk, living her faith, and repairing the pieces of her life from the inside out. A legacy beyond reality TV. While Chrisley Knows Best made Julie a household name, her current chapter reveals a different kind of fame, one rooted not in reality TV glitz, but in humility and resilience. "I used to be proud of the life I built. Now I'm proud of the woman I'm becoming," Julie wrote. As her children carry on the family name in the public eye, with Savannah taking the reins on legal updates and family care, Julie remains the emotional backbone, even from a distance. Her words continue to pour strength into her family, and her focus remains unshakably clear. "My focus is on becoming better, not bitter. I can't undo the past, but I can rise from it."